Hello and welcome to part 2 of the gold level in primary school computing. In this level we're going to be adding in some enemies. It's a great one to do with children. We've already created the maze. If you just want to open that back up, or you could start it again, here's what scripture we've used. If you just want to pause the video, then you can just copy this down. This is what we have so far. So if I press the green arrow here, I've just got a sprite that just moves around a maze. If I press the red, it goes back to the start, and when I get to the yellow, it should say you win. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding in some enemies. Now these enemies are going to be there as a way to stop you from getting to the yellow. So it goes back to the start there, and I'll just stop that. It stops you getting to the yellow, so we're just going to add in some little characters that just get in the way. I'm just going to add in the one, but feel free to add in a few. I'm just going to put one here that just sort of moves up and down. If you've got a more elaborate maze, then you can have them going whichever way. I will explain how to do that. First we're going to create a new sprite. Again, like I said before, you could always just use one of the ones that are already there. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to be... That's really terrible. I'm just going to create like a kind of like a bat. Not that a bat's really an enemy of a frog, but you know. Just work with me here. Again, this is always quite fun to do with the kids. They like creating their own little characters and things, so I'm going to give them some little red eyes actually. Some red eyes. And I'm just going to draw in some little teeth. Looks like a bat. There we go. That'll do. So here's our bat now. He's looking a little bit big, so we're just going to shrink him right down. And just click off again, like click off the gray to just get off it. And he's going to start here. He's going to go down, and he's going to go up. So we're going to start him here. So control, when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to go to motion. Actually, first we're going to have to do repeat, and we're going to have forever repeat. Okay, so the forever obviously just means it goes forever, but you want to just repeat rather than just keep going. So you want to repeat so many times and then repeat so many times to come back up. So if you want repeat, I'm going to have another repeat in there as well to go the opposite way. Motion, we're going to change by Y. I need to learn these. Change Y by 10. Change Y by -10. This may not, as you can see, he's going very fast. So, like I said in the previous videos, you've always got to kind of judge it first. So obviously he's going the wrong way first. I didn't want him to go the wrong way. So there we go. If we change that, and I'm going to put him there, so we know how to do this. And if we just repeat that, so he's going to repeat that 10 times. It may not be enough. It may not get all the way down, which means you'd never get the sprite past. But on mine it works quite well. So you can just have that repeating over and over again, just adding in little characters. You might want to add in, I don't know, like a friend. You might want to be able to get a friend safe. So you could add like a friend in. You've got to reach the friend. And the friend says, you saved me or something, and then you could go around. Once you've got the friend could then disappear, and it means you've sort of saved him. You could be in a cage or something. So when you go over to the grey of the cage, then the cage could come off. This will be the challenge for the end, to just have a play around with the kind of things that you could add in here. An essential part that we're going to need is the fact that, you know, if he touches the black and then he goes back to the start. So we've already got a lot of these. I'm just going to move all these down, and I'm just going to create a new one. It just means that it's not going to get confusing. So it's just going to be the same as this, well, similar to this. Forever if, go into sensing again, touching the colour, choose the colour, which is black. I'm just going to stop that just because it's getting a little bit annoying. If it's touching that colour, then we go back to where we started. And we can just test that. I'm just going to go around my maze, and I'm going to touch the black, and you can see I've gone back to the start. And that's it really for that. It was probably one of the more simple ones because we've already got quite a good idea of what we want out of this program, and by adding in, you know, our enemies, we can make quite an elaborate game. If you want to continue on with this, play around with it a little bit, make your sprite even smaller, make, you know, you could make like a little village or something, and your little character can go around the village, kind of like a Pokemon style game. If you've ever played the old Pokemons on the Game Boy, you could have it like that, and you collect, you know, coins and things like that. You could have more enemies, different kinds of enemies that show up every now and again and go away. So they could show and go away. So you can have like a timer on that. So the player has to time when they move correctly. And I hope you've enjoyed these series of videos. Hopefully you'll be making some more in the future. But for now, bye bye.